I'm gonna be so real. I'm rewatching the recording right now, and I think my AirPods were out, like on the table, and so I think the audio was coming from my AirPods. So if the audio's low, just turn up your volume. It's common sense, dummy. Anyway, enjoy the daily bias video. If you learn something, you most likely won't learn anything. Yeah, you most likely won't, but give me watch time anyways, and like and subscribe because why not? I'm trying to get to 100K on YouTube. Yes, sir.
Okay, now that intro that I just recorded sounded horrible because I recorded with the AirPod Max. This is the biggest waste of $500 ever. Biggest waste of $550 ever. The audio is not even good. Now go enjoy the video. I haven't been feeling it for some reason, you know? Like, I know it's something on my end I need to do better. And, like, I think that's a very scary thing. To know you need to do better and know that you can do better by not doing better, you know? Anyway, daily bias, it's here. Let's get into it. So, remember, we always have to push to become our best. Why be average? Everyone else is already average. You might as well be the best, right? Might as well be different. So, we do the things we don't want to do in the hopes that we build the discipline in order to continue to do the things we don't want to do. So do the things you don't want to do even when you don't feel like doing it, right? Because that's the premise of life. That's how life works. Anyway, let's get into it. Daily bias. Too many of you have requested this video. I'm joking, probably like none of you guys have. I'm joking, a few of you guys have. But daily bias is the most important thing. I did make a video on it, but I didn't fully dive into it like we are today. So, anywho, daily bias. Why is daily bias important? Well, you need to understand where you're going for the day. If you don't understand where you're going for the day, your trades will either be very, very short-lived or you will get stopped out every single time. So you need to make sure your bias is correct and aligned with price action so that when you take a trade, it's at least following bias, right? So let's get into it. How to analyze bias. I had people within the Discord tell me, Lonnie, we're bearish on gold on Monday. No, sir, we are bullish. Very bullish. And I am going to use that as an example. But for now, let's look at GJ, because GJ has been in a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful upward trend for the past, dang, that's a long time, however many months. Dang, I started trading like back here. Wow. Like, if you think about it, I really have been only trading for like, how many candlesticks? My neighbor just said period. What in the world? Dang, I've been trading for almost a year, basically. Basically a year. That's a year. Anyway, let's get into it. So, we see GJ has been in a beautiful uptrend. I mean, we could check the same thing for gold. Which chart do we want to use? Do I have Chartifacts? Is my internet cut out? No, it's not. So, did I just break my computer switching charts? Okay, really? Okay. Gold has been in a uptrend? I'm joking. Yeah, it has. Well, recently it has. But overall, macro, yes, has been an uptrend, of course. Like, my internet has this weird thing where it kicks out and then it kicks back in. I have the worst internet ever. Like, never get AT&T. I testify for you to not get AT&T as an AT&T user. Like, I got AT&T at my mom's, Spectrum at my dad's. If you don't have Spectrum, you're doing something wrong with your life. Wait, that means I'm doing something wrong with my life. I probably am. Anyway, let's get into it. So let's look at GJ. Let's look at GJ. And let's see, how do we get the bias? Because how many minutes have we wasted? 3 minutes, not that. Hey, that's below average. No, that's no. That no. I meant like that's below the average time we waste. Get your head out of the gutter. Anyway, I actually get into it. My internet sucks so much. It's just sabotaging this video. Dang. Anywho, with that being said, how we get daily bias. First off, we look at price action. What is price action doing? If you are unable to read price action, you need some. Yeah, not even TJR can save you, buddy. Not even I can save you. Not even Mamba Effects can save you. Not even Lambo Raul can save you. Not even Umar can save you. Not even ICT can save you himself. Anyway, if you can't read bias, can't read trend, sorry, you won't understand bias. So make sure you know how to read the trend. After that, let's go down. Typically, I always go on weekly in the beginning of the week in order to get an understanding for what happened the week prior, to see what we can expect this week. If we look at GJ this week with this candlestick, we left a fair value gap within excuse me within right here. Left a weekly fair value gap retracement here. Something we could have expected to see, which funny enough we did see within the beginning of the week. Monday, Tuesday, was a retracement for this fair value gap, which we did see. Price broke structure to the upside on weekly. Let's go here. Broke structure to the upside on weekly. Bam, right here. Remember, line chart. Use the line chart if you're unable to understand trend and where break of structure is. It'll help so much. Bam, we've seen price broke structure to the upside, left the fair value gap. Remember, not every fair value gap gets filled, but in this case, this one did get filled. Well, not every fair value gap gets filled immediately. Eventually, every fair value gap does get filled. So, with that being said, price left not only a weekly fair value gap, but also a daily fair value gap here. Price retraced Monday to the downside. Let's go on 4 hour. Bam. Retrace into the fair value gap. Filled more orders for another. Well, majority of orders were filled within this 4 hour candlestick, but price then pushed to the upside. So with that being said, overall, our bias on the week before market open was bullish. Why? Because we broke weekly structure to the upside. You're still following along? Good. So we know for the overall week we're bullish. But remember, we don't take every single trade based off of weekly structure. There are times where, weekly will be bullish. My neighbor is blasting TikTok. Okay. It's some stupid TikTok song in my head. Now it's stuck in my head. Okay. Let's pay attention. I have to lock in. Better close my window. Anywho. And now they're laughing. Hysterically loud. Oh my gosh. Anyway, with that being said, typically look at weekly, but remember, we don't base every trade off of the weekly time frame. There are days on the daily or even 4 hour where price will be bearish. We can still take trades off of that. Remember that. But if your daily bias is in line with weekly, that's typically an even greater confluence. You're still following along? Good. It's not that hard to understand. So, with that being said, I like to look at daily. Here, if I knew overall weekly we were bullish, right? I'm still following along too. Weekly overall we were bullish, but I knew we could see a retracement for this weekly fair value gap. What would I have done? Well, personally, if I'm being completely honest, let's see what time price started to move. 6 a.m. Personally, there's two scenarios. One, you could have taken the retracement play into the fair value gap, right? Taking profit once, let's say, I don't know, you took a trade here. Whatever, let's say stops above the fair value gap right here. And you took the retracement play into the fair value gap. And if you don't know what fair value gap I'm talking about, it's a retracement for the fair value gap right here. So with that being said, let's say you did take that. One scenario, yeah, you can take that. That's not necessarily wrong at all. My internet's bugging out again. Or B, you could have waited until price action started to follow clear market structure. Right now, you understand you're retracing. And like I said, that wouldn't be a bad trade to take. But there are times where you're retracing, right? You end up retracing, but then price starts to get a little choppy and you're unable to understand price action. Did anything I say just make sense to myself? No. I am fluent in Japanese. I don't know a word that I just said. One moment. I need to reset my brain. We're gonna go get some water. My brain turned off, but I full screen. Oh my gosh, I'm not even showing my chart. My brain turned off, but I promise I turned it back on again. I think. Oh my gosh, I can't get this. Not full screen. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna lose it. Okay, my brain is working again. Somewhat. Okay. The reason why I don't typically like to play the retracement, even though there are times where I do, okay, I'm guilty too, I'm human, right? But the reason why I don't tell everyone to play the retracement is because you want to be in a good habit to where you're catching the overall extension of the move, not just that little tiny retracement. Let's say we go back on 4 hour and we look at it. Sure, you could have caught the retracement, and let's say you do catch both. There's nothing wrong with catching both, but let's say you do catch the retracement and then you don't catch the overall extension. Look how much more limited this trade is compared. Like, do I really even have to mark it out? Like, I can, but just for this, we'll mark it out. Like, look how. Can we take into account how much more greater the overall extension is compared to just that tiny little retracement? Yeah, it's a whole difference, right? So with that being said, you want to have a good habit of catching the overall move. That's why typically for me, I won't trade the retracement days. I'll simply wait until price starts to, retraces and does whatever it does, and then continues to follow market structure. You can do that, or you can trade the retracement days. It's really your choice, right? So with that, and how your trading strategy works. But with that being said, now let's get into it. Fifth grader terms. How do you actually tell daily bias? Well, something I like to do is simply plot out the break of structures on higher time frame. Weekly here. Let's clean our chart and let's do this. Bam. On weekly here, let's see what happened. Okay, cool. We broke structure to the upside. What else? Well, let's go on daily. And this is as simple as it is. You don't need to overcomplicate it. Don't overcomplicate daily bias. Too many people overcomplicate daily bias. It's not that complicated. It's really not. Like, I can tell you right now for GJ, we're going to be bullish. Why? Because we broke daily structure to the upside. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. Keep it very, very, very simple. Here, why were we bullish for GJ? Broke daily structure to the upside on that candlestick. Here, why were we bullish on the day for GJ? Because we broke daily structure to the upside. And then, good way to pair this, you go down to lower time frames. Okay, so you broke daily structure, but you knew. So now you know you're bullish, but you also know you could see a potential retracement for a fair value gap. Okay, cool. Let's wait for that retracement for the fair value gap. Enter once whatever does, whenever price action reacts off the fair value gap, then target highs. Bam. There you go. So don't overcomplicate daily bias. Typically, look at 4 hour and daily in order to get the understanding of price action, because that will give you the more macro scale of being able to understand it. In simple terms, I like to plot out the break of structures. Everyone has their own unique way of finding daily bias. But like I said, it's really not that hard. Pay attention to where you're going. Don't be clueless, and then keep it simple. Like majority of the stuff, the reason why I haven't gone over it is because it's fairly simple things to where you can look at price action like, okay, we broke structure to the upside, we're going up, right? In this sense, I guess, I mean, there are no fair value gaps really, unless you want to consider this like very, very, very small fair value gap, right? Um, but broke structure to the daily. We'll do the same thing on gold. Let's remove any chart artifacts on the chart. Do the same thing with gold, right? So what happened here? Broke daily structure. What happened here? Broke daily structure on this candle. What happened just on Friday? Just now on Friday? Broke daily structure to the upside. Like it's not that hard. Remember, higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows. That's it. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. And you do the same thing until you break structure back to the downside. Don't overcomplicate it. Keep it simple. Simple. And look at price action and see, okay, does price action have the potential to retrace for X, Y, and Z? If it does, it does, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. And if you don't think and or are confused whether it will retrace or not, wait. Don't trade that day. Wait. Sit there patiently and wait. Remember, execute on your high probability setups. What does that mean? When you understand price action and what it's doing. If price action is chopping, don't take a trade because you don't understand what's going on. Like for me, if I need to sit there and wait for a daily break of structure in order to understand what price action is trying to do, I'm going to sit there and wait for a daily break of structure or a 4-hour break of structure or a 1-hour break of structure, right? And a good rule of thumb is this. I'll leave you guys with this. I'm trying to see. Okay, so video's probably going to be maybe 18 minutes long. Good rule of thumb is this. If weekly is bullish, so okay, Lonie just lost all of his. If weekly's bullish, right, and daily is bullish, and 4-hour is bullish, but 1-hour is bearish, you can look for a retracement on 1-hour in order for it to retrace, do whatever it needs to do, and then follow a line with 4-hour or with the rest of the time frames. So just because a micro time frame is not fully aligned yet with the overall macro time frame, that doesn't mean your bias is invalidated. Get that out of your head if it was in your head. Remember that. So with that being said, you remember, higher time frame holds higher power. Look at the higher time frames. Look at the weekly. In the beginning of the week, Sunday, look at weekly. See what you should be looking for throughout the week. And then go on daily and see what you're looking for within the day or 4-hour. Okay? Capiche? Capiche? It's not that hard. Just keep it simple. Remember, keep your trading strategy simple. Don't overcomplicate it, because when you start to overcomplicate it, that's when it starts to become, that's when you start to overthink bias and overthink all these little things. And, if you guys don't understand it, join the Discord. I'll help you understand it. We'll talk and then I'll help you understand it, whatever. But even right here, daily broke structure to the upside, left a fair value gap. Oh, okay. Let's see. Let's be patient and see if price retraces for the fair value gap. Oh, it did. Okay, cool. Bam. We can take a trade position, or sorry, we'll do this. We'll go on a micro time frame. We'll go on a 1-hour time frame. See what price action wants to do. Oh, price action came in and also filled a 1-hour fair value gap. Guess what? Daily we're bullish, but 1-hour we were bearish here. Oh, okay. 1-hour we were bearish. Enter this fair value gap. Guess what? Wait, I'm not done yet. 15-minute. Oh, we started chopping, filling more orders. Okay, we broke structure to the upside on 15-minute. Bam. Retrade. Had another fair value gap right here on 15-minute. Filled more orders and also tapped into equilibrium. Bam. And price was in discount. Now let's go 5-minute. What happened? It just keeps going. Okay, cool. Price was in discount. Price ended up breaking structure to the upside right here on this candle. 5-minute candle, cool. Stops below the lows. Bam, target highs. I don't even think those are highs. My chart just broke. That's how good our technical analysis was. And then when you take a trade like this, a sniper entry, this is practically a daily move, a 4-hour move off a 5-minute time frame. You could target 4-hour highs, 1-hour highs easily. Could have targeted highs all the way up here with ease, right? So we can also go into another video on take profits and how to properly set take profits based upon the time frame you're trading. But that was an example, right? This was a daily trade. You understood daily bias. And on top of that, you scaled down to 1 hour and 15 and 5-minute in order to look for an execution. And then your take profit could have been or was set at a daily high. Wait, my internet. Yeah, daily high, right? So remember that. Actually, the daily high would have been like somewhere like there. Let's be real. Okay, daily high would have been there. Still, 1 of 4. Great trade. So, bada bing, bada bam, bada bang. So with that being said, that was daily bias. If I didn't fully explain it, I'm sorry. I've been out of my head recently. I need to snap back into it. I haven't been as disciplined as I need to be. There's 100% things I've been needing to work on in my own personal life. And I'm sure the YouTube channel shows a reflection of that with my lack of uploads, but I promise I'm going to fix it. And as I continue to, build my discipline, I am going to make sure that the YouTube channel reflects that and my life reflects that. I don't want to just be someone that just talks a lot and never gets anything done. I instead want to be the opposite, one that talks the least but gets the most done. And I want to apologize to you guys if you guys are still watching, because I have not been a reflection of that. But I will start to be a reflection of that. You guys have my word, and I have my word to myself. And I basically have to promise myself that I will give it my all. I promised myself that, and right as I started to make a little bit of money and feel good about myself, and I got off track. And it's important that you do not disrespect momentum in your life, because momentum is what continues to push you, And so I unfortunately disrespected my momentum, and in turn I became lazy. But now it's time to lock back in. It's time to focus on what we need to focus on, because we have goals in mind, things we will and need to achieve, and we are going to achieve those things because we don't accept failure. We refuse to be losers. We refuse to be average. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to get up, go give it our all, go be the very best. So I have more back testing to do. I'm going to be back testing GJ over the weekend, gold, a few more things. Think of YouTube video ideas, but apart from that, continue to push, continue to grind, and continue to not be average. We're not here to be average. We're here to be the best. We're here to be great. Why? Why be in the top 0.1% when you can be in the top 0.001%? I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you guys. Peace.